For 30 years, a mysterious cabin sat locked in the woods. Michael Landon built it as his private retreat, but no one saw inside after he died. Locals whispered about it for decades. Vines covered the windows. The door was sealed tight. Then someone finally found the key. What they discovered inside shocked everyone. Personal belongings, secret letters, and something that revealed his darkest truth. The cabin held secrets he never wanted anyone to find. Michael Landon was born on October 31, 1936, in Forest Hills, Queens. His real name was Eugene Maurice Orowitz. His father was a Jewish-American actor. His mother was an Irish Catholic dancer. Their marriage was tense. Religion caused constant fights at home. Eugene's sister Evelyn was born 3 years before him. In 1941, the family moved to Collingswood, New Jersey. Eugene was just 4. That small town would shape his childhood in painful ways. Even though he had a genius-level IQ, Eugene never felt smart. School was hard. Classmates bullied him. Teachers didn't understand him. The town didn't help either. It was deeply anti-Semitic. He was forced to stay behind on Wednesdays while Christian kids went to church. He remembered standing alone, cleaning blackboards, wondering why he had to be different. That feeling of rejection stayed with him. But what hurt more was what happened at home. His mother had severe mental issues. She attempted suicide many times. Eugene saw things no child should see. One time during a family beach trip, she walked into the ocean to kill herself. Eugene, just a boy, ran in after her. Waves hit his chest. He screamed. She wouldn't stop, so he hit her in the face to make her turn back. She acted like it never happened. But Eugene vomited afterward. He was sick from fear. These kinds of scenes happened often. He called it suicide drama for days. It was chaos. He never felt safe. His pain didn't end there. Eugene wet the bed. It wasn't his fault. It was medical. But his mother didn't believe that. She thought he did it out of laziness. So she punished him, viciously. She hung his wet sheets outside his window. The school bus stopped right in front of the house. Every morning his classmates saw. He was humiliated again and again. Eugene tried to stop it. He'd wake up before dawn, grab the sheets, run to the laundromat, wash them and sneak back home. Even when it was closed, he tried to break in. He couldn't take the shame. She once sent him to a sleepover just to test him. If he wet the bed there, it would be worse. If he didn't, she said he had been faking all along. He couldn't win. Years later, he made a film about this nightmare. It was called The Loneliest Runner. It was his way of telling the truth. But in the middle of all this pain, something gave him hope. Sports. He found peace in javelin throwing. He was strong, fast, and focused. In high school he threw the javelin 193 feet, 4 inches. That was the longest throw in the country by any high school student in 1954. The next year he threw 211 feet, 7 inches, a new national record. Suddenly people noticed him. The same boy who used to be mocked was now in the papers. A coach described him as a solidly built kid with broad shoulders, words that felt like magic to Eugene. For once he felt seen. He earned a scholarship to the University of Southern California. He dreamed of going to the Olympics, but he had a strange belief. He thought his power came from his long hair, just like Samson from the Bible. His teammates didn't believe that. As a prank, they gave him a crew cut. His throws dropped by 50 feet. He panicked. He pushed himself too hard trying to recover. He tore ligaments in his shoulder. His athletic career was over. His college days were done. His dreams collapsed in an instant. Eugene was lost again. He took odd jobs to survive. He sold blankets, stocked shelves, and unloaded freight. One day, a coworker asked him to help rehearse lines for an acting audition. Eugene read the part and was better than the friend. A talent scout saw something in him. But there was a problem. His name sounded too Jewish. That could hurt his chances in Hollywood. So he made a bold move. He opened a phone book and searched. Michael Lane was taken. Then he saw Landon. It stuck. Eugene Maurice Orowitz was now Michael Landon. Just 4 months after that change, he booked a role on Telephone Time. His career had started. But real fame came with a strange little horror film in 1957. It was called I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Michael played a troubled teen who turned into a monster. The idea shocked people. No one had made a horror film with a teenage werewolf before. The movie cost under $123,000 to make but earned nearly $2 million. It became a massive hit. His intense performance caught Hollywood's eye. Then came The Legend of Tom Dooley, in 1959. Michael played a Confederate soldier who accidentally attacked a stagecoach, not knowing the war had ended. The film was based on a true story, and inspired by a hit folk song. It was dramatic, romantic, and tragic. He played it perfectly. This role, just months before his big break, proved he could lead a Western. That same year, everything changed. He got a call about a new TV series. It was originally called The Restless Gun, but the name was later changed to Bonanza. Michael was cast as Little Joe Cartwright, the youngest of three brothers. When Bonanza first aired on Saturday, September 12, 1959, it wasn't just another Western. It changed television forever. It was the first Western ever filmed entirely in color. Most people still owned black and white TVs. But NBC was thinking ahead. They believed the beautiful landscapes around Lake Tahoe and the Ponderosa Ranch would convince people to upgrade. That gamble paid off. Soon color TVs became the new normal, and Bonanza led the way. Each episode cost between $100,000 and $150,000 to make nearly $1 million today. That budget gave the show a rich movie-like look that set a new standard for TV. But Bonanza wasn't just about pretty scenery, it was about people. And one person in particular stood out: Michael Landon. His character Little Joe stole hearts across the world. By 1966, Landon was getting fan mail from 64 out of the 70 countries where Bonanza aired. He received more than 5,000 letters a week, far more than any of his co-stars. The letters came in every language imaginable. Fans believed Little Joe truly understood them. Landon joked that he could now say "I don't speak your language" in German and Swedish. He just needed to learn it in Japanese. Years earlier, Landon dreamed of fame as a javelin thrower. He never expected strangers to recognize him for acting, let alone in dozens of languages. Bonanza didn't take long to dominate the ratings. In its first year, it wasn't even in the top 30. By the second season, it broke into the top 20. By the third season, it was number 2. And by season 6, 1964-65, it was number 1. That year it had a 36.3 rating and over 19 million viewers each week. During one stretch in early 1964, nearly 60% of Americans watching TV were tuned into Bonanza. No other show came close. For 3 straight seasons, Bonanza ruled the airwaves. Competing networks tried to fight back. CBS launched The Judy Garland Show, My Living Doll, and The Joey Bishop Show. None of them worked. The Cartwrights couldn't be stopped. Bonanza stayed in the top 10 for 11 years, and the top 20 for 12. Behind the scenes, the cast's bond was just as strong. Lorne Greene, who played Ben Cartwright, became a real father figure. Michael Landon and Dan Blocker, who played his sons, often went to him for advice on and off camera. Greene even helped negotiate contracts for himself, Landon, and Blocker, making all 3 millionaires. But not everything was perfect. Director William Claxton once called Landon a pugnacious brat in the early days, and Pernell Roberts, who played Adam Cartwright, clashed constantly with producers. He didn't like the writing and left after season 6. Still, Landon and Blocker became close friends. They even bought beach property together with Greene. As Landon's fan base grew, so did his influence. By 1962, he was only 25 but had already convinced NBC to let him write a script. He thought it would be easy. He was wrong. Writing that first script took 2 long days. It exhausted him so much he couldn't bring himself to write another for almost 3 years. But once he pushed through, he found a new passion. He said writing was the hardest job in TV. Directors and actors can sometimes take shortcuts. Writers can't. By 1968, Landon added another title: director. At just 31, he was now acting, writing, and directing. He was the creative heart of the show, and he stayed loyal to his team. The same crew he trusted on Bonanza followed him to Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. Landon wasn't just dabbling behind the camera, he was building his own storytelling empire. That approach made him one of TV's most powerful figures. But in 1972, everything changed. Dan Blocker, who played Haas, died suddenly after gallbladder surgery. He was only 43. His loss devastated everyone. Landon and Greene were especially heartbroken. The three had worked together for 13 years, leaning on each other like a real family. Greene said it felt like a real death in the family. When NBC decided to continue Bonanza without Blocker, Greene was stunned. He later admitted they should have canceled the show. Without Haas, it wasn't the same. The first episode of the new season, Forever, was supposed to be Haas's wedding. Landon rewrote it after Blocker's death. The result was heartbreaking. Little Joe loses his wife and brother-in-law to violence and seeks justice. The episode included quiet tributes, a slow zoom on Haas's photo, Joe and Ben crying together. It ranked 4th in the ratings. Viewers needed to say goodbye, but even that couldn't save the show. NBC moved Bonanza from Sundays to Tuesdays. The audience didn't follow. Ratings plummeted. On November 6, 1972, NBC canceled it. Green was furious. He got just 2 days' notice. "You don't do that to anybody," he said. "Even a street sweeper gets a week." NBC later tried to reverse the decision, but the sets were already torn down. The final episode aired on January 16, 1973. After 14 seasons and 431 episodes, Bonanza ended without a proper goodbye. But Landon's legacy didn't end there. In 1974, he created Little House on the Prairie. NBC was skeptical. A show about pioneers didn't scream hit. But Landon had clout. His daughter loved the books, and he used that as his pitch. The 2-hour pilot aired in March 1974. By September, it was a weekly series. Landon wasn't just the star, he ran everything. He produced all 204 episodes 1974, 83. Wrote dozens, and directed many. He worked fast, rarely doing second takes. When a scene worked, he'd say print, and move on. The show became his style, his tone, his vision. Even after it ended, he made 3 follow-up TV movies. By then, Landon wasn't just an actor, he was a TV titan. He brought his Bonanza team with him: director William Claxton, composer David Rose, and others. He ensured his friend Victor French had roles, first as Mr. Edwards, then as his co-star on Highway to Heaven. Every year he used his NBC Rose Parade earnings to buy Christmas gifts for the Little House crew. But behind the scenes, things weren't always kind. Karen Grassel, Mae Ingalls fought for fair pay. In 1975, Little House was a top 10 hit, but Landon blocked her raise, claiming NBC didn't think her character was popular. He even said she should earn the same as the child actors. Grassel was humiliated. Worse, Landon cut her screen time, sometimes to less than 8 minutes per episode, slashing her residuals. She once got just $1.27 per rerun. For over 2 seasons she felt trapped. It wasn't just money. Landon's behavior turned ugly. Grassel described his crude sexual jokes during rehearsals. Once, before filming a bedroom scene, he made graphic comments about women. "I froze," she said. Other actresses like Melissa Gilbert confirmed Landon's lewd humor made them uncomfortable. His affair with Cindy Clerico, an 18-year-old makeup assistant, shocked everyone. He bragged openly about it, despite being married. When his wife Lynn found out, she reportedly threw a vodka bottle at his head. Advertisers like Kodak cut ties. The press had a field day. Fans struggled to reconcile the perfect TV dad with the man leaving his wife for someone younger than his daughter. Despite the scandal, Landon married Cindy in 1983. They had 2 children, Jennifer and Sean. By then he had 9 kids across 3 marriages. To his youngest he was playful and warm. Sean didn't even know his dad was famous. Jennifer recalled him treating her like an adult. He showed her my left foot when she was 6. But his older children were hurt. His stepdaughter Cheryl adored him. He'd willed her to survive a near-fatal car crash, yet he broke her heart by leaving her mother. Melissa Gilbert, who saw Landon as a father figure, was torn. "I have to work with Mike," she wrote, "but he's done something that's turned my world into angry opposing sides." Years later, his son Michael Jr. made The Father I Knew, a film exploring loving someone who hurts you. In 1984, Landon returned with Highway to Heaven. He played Jonathan Smith, an angel helping people on Earth. The idea came to him in Beverly Hills traffic. If people just acted nice, he thought everything would flow better. The show ran for 5 seasons, 111 episodes. Like Landon, his angel was flawed but trying to do good. In early 1991, Landon felt severe headaches while skiing. On April 5, doctors diagnosed pancreatic cancer. It had spread to his liver. He was 54. A month later, he joked about his illness on The Tonight Show, urging people not to ignore warning signs. He believed smoking and drinking contributed. He'd tried quitting after his Highway to Heaven co-star Victor French died of lung cancer. Landon refused to let tabloids control his story. On April 8, he invited reporters to his Malibu ranch. "Don't find this funny," he said. "But if you're going to beat something, you're not going to do it standing in the corner." The press didn't relent. One false headline claimed he and Cindy were trying for another baby during his treatment. His Malibu home was more than a house, it was where friends and family gathered for barbecues and music. As he worsened, it became a final gathering place. One weekend before his death, all 9 children came home. Old grudges didn't matter anymore. At 1:20 p.m., on July 1, 1991, Michael Landon died holding Cindy's hand. "I love you all very much," he told his children, "but would you go downstairs and give me some time with Cindy?" His funeral drew 500 people. Ronald Reagan called his battle a story that touched the heart of every American. Melissa Gilbert simply said, "He had integrity." His grave reads, "He seized life with joy. He gave to life generously." He leaves a legacy of love and laughter. After his death, his Malibu mansion sat abandoned for years. Locals called it Michael Landon's ghost house. Vines crawled up the walls, fogged windows made it look frozen in time. Online forums buzzed about its eerie state. But there was more to the story. Landon had sold it in 1989 for $6 million, $11 million today. After a renovation, it sold in 2014 for $40 million. His star still shines on Hollywood Boulevard. But for those who knew him, it wasn't about fame. As his daughter Shauna said, "Don't wait. There are only so many tomorrows." That's how Landon lived, and how he wanted to be remembered.